Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be doing some Nightmare Cup practice. And my team composition is Alolan Raticate, Xatu, Gardevoir, Bronzong, Lucario, and then Skuntank. So Gardevoir is an obvious one. Alolan Raticate and Skuntank are kind of like my dark types. Alolan Raticate obviously having really good matchups against a majority of the psychic Pokemon. And then I have Xatu here, just because I know a lot of people are going to bring Bronzong as a counter to Gardevoir, and most people are going to be carrying the Psyshock Bulldoze moveset, and Xatu can at least put some shield pressure on those ones. If they're carrying Heavy Slam or Flash Cannon, I'm a little bit more of a trouble. And then my Bronzong doesn't have Bulldoze on it, mostly because I didn't want to TM it, but it has Psyshock Heavy Slam. And then my Lucario has some like pretty good matchups because of that steel typing, and a little bit more favorable than Toxicrow in some matchups. So, anyways, we're gonna lead off with Xatu, hoping that we can catch a Bronzong or catch a Toxicrow or something. Even in Elite situation, it does pretty favorably against non-Thunder Punch Hypno, but I think most people, if they're gonna do Nightmare, will probably carry Fire Punch, Shadow Ball, or double punch Hypno. So, anyways, I think there's like a little bit. So, but I do like this team overall. If I were to make some changes, I had to think about it. Let's see after this match. So this is not a great situation for me. So I'm gonna switch into Gardevoir, try to do as much damage as I can. As you can see, these charms are just chunking away. And he switches into Toxicrow, and I make a mistake here. I should have just farmed this Toxicrow down, but we end up in a CMP tie, which ends up being like a waste of energy. So, but he ends up shielding, so maybe that was okay. And then let's see what he has in the back. So we know he has Umbreon. Basically, my charge moves don't do very much damage. The Xatu is putting on quite a bit of pressure. I really should have did Synchronize a turn earlier. I thought I could finish it off. And that was a big mistake on my part. So I'm in a lot of trouble at this point in time. I have two Psychics and no answer to this Umbreon. So I think I just tank this Foul Play. I'm not sure necessarily it was the right decision. And I really need to get to that charge move. And I'm just going to try to put some shield pressure on. Or if he doesn't shield, that's also good. And also did a terrible job with that charge move. And I'm like desperately trying to get to this, and there's no chance there. So poor team composition on my side. Nice use of the Umbreon. I perhaps should have stuck out that matchup a little. I don't know. It's tough to say. If I would not use the charge move against Toxicrow and then use it early on Xatu, then I would be in a better situation against because I would have been able to get like at least one charm off, or potentially burn the energy from the Umbreon. So, still trying to get used to this cup and on how to tackle it. So lead with Gardevoir, leads with Umbreon. So obviously extremely favorable for me. He switches to the Hypno, and let's switch into Alolan Raticate. And then I'm going to hit the Crunch, trying to burn a shield. And I do a really poor job counting here, because there's no way it'd be a Focus Blast. So now he has Thunder Punch. So all he is going for this Thunder Punch, so I'm just going to farm a little bit more. And then go for the Crunch. And he shields again, which is interesting. So I'm going to go for the second Crunch. Maybe he does have Focus Blast. It would be like a pretty uncommon moveset to run. and he comes with Tox. It just deletes me. So I switch back into Gardevoir, just knowing that I have a really positive matchup against Toxicroak and Umbreon. Goes for Sludge Bomb, which is the right move. Like, if you're gonna try to, if they don't shield, then I probably oh man, it's a terrible job with the Psychic one. I don't know what that guy was doing. I should have did Shadow Ball if I was gonna do Charge Move, or I shouldn't have done a Charge Move at all. But again, doesn't really matter too much. Probably actually would have done more damage if I just did Charm. I have Lucario on back, so it's pretty much GG's at this point in time. So Charm Gardevoir is very good, but it certainly can be checked in this cup. And now we're going to don't use Aggron. I'm going to follow the similar line as before, except for I'm going to put in Alolan Raticate, just so I have like a second Umbreon check. And it's a favorable matchup for me. He switches to Drapion. I switch into Alolan Raticate. I don't need to shield against any of these charge moves. Crunch, Aqua Tail, doesn't matter. Just going to build up a little bit of energy. Go for the Hyper Fang. Doesn't KO. And I don't need to shield again, just because he has Toxicroak in the back. I probably should have farmed more. Actually, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to hit Hyper Fang anyway, so. And if it goes through, it does a ton of damage. And I switch back into Xatu. And we're going Xatu versus Xatu. And this should be this. Oh, no, second shield. And I actually decided to go to try to do the charge move, but thank goodness for overtapping, because it actually allowed me to feint down the Xatu. And I'm not too worried at this point in time. 2 shields. I have Gardevoir in the back. I just need shield. And delete it. Like, this charms just hurt so much from this Gardevoir. And the Gardevoir is pretty good. It's like a rank 60 Gardevoir 51, I can't remember, but pretty good. So again, we're gonna go with this lineup with Gardevoir, Alolan Raticate, and was in the back, I can't remember, Bronzong. So favorable matchup for me. Again, leading with switch into Lucario. Not sure that's like maybe Alolan Raticate would have been better. And at this point, I just want to do minimum damage actually, because maybe I could have KO'd it before the Aqua Tail came out, but I also know he has a Toxicroak. So I didn't want the Toxicroak to farm too much from me, so purposely did like less damage. And we're lagging. Not a great situation. Still did a decent chunk of damage. I'm going to come back in with Gardevoir. And once I shield, this Toxicroak's gone, which puts my Alolan Raticate in a really good situation. Claydol. I'm going to go Synchronize. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. Like, when I tried to do the spin, I usually just follow the path, but I'm just trying to practice. Oh, he lagged there. And unfortunately, the lag kind of ruined the match. But I had Alolan Raticate in the back, so it doesn't really matter. Comes Gyro Ball. And we just finished it off there. So I think the match would have been over anyways. Like, unless he lands like 2 Earth Powers, it's not gonna. Even 2 Earth Powers with is a defense drop. then it would have made a difference. But so going up against Wild Susan Boyle. Gonna come with this lineup with Zatu leading. Okay, so this is not a great situation for me at all. I'm gonna stick it out for a little bit. Gonna hit this aerial ace. Gonna switch into Alolan Muck and let it hit me with whatever he wants me to hit me with. In this case, Acid Spray. He sticks it out for a little bit. And that was a really, really good switch because definitely the crunch probably would have did more damage. And I'm kind of in a tricky situation. I decided to come Gardevoir just to match with Charms. And this is going to be Acid Spray, but nothing much I can do. This Acid Spray would hurt a lot. And I'm able to take out the little Muck, and then I'm in a very positive situation. And I just need to shield. There's no way he can get to like 2 charge moves. So, GG there. That team combo is like just pretty tough against Gardevoir. Because once I took out the Gardevoir, then well, I guess Lone Muck obviously has favorable matchups. Okay, I'm gonna come in Bronzong in the back, but unfortunately, Bronzong doesn't have Bulldoze, and I know if he has Bronzong, then it's also gonna have Bulldoze. So we mirror. And we're just going to feint each other down. I don't know how big the IV spread difference has to be. And we're just waiting, just guessing at this point in time. And we both come Bronzong. And I switch into... I don't know whether I should have shielded there. Definitely not in hindsight, so... Once it hits me this Acid Spray, it's actually not great for me. I know it's going to be an Acid Spray, or actually don't know it's going to be an Acid Spray. But even if it was, like, I probably still want to shield. Well, now I know he has double poison on his Muck. Or he has all poison on his Muck. I'm not good. I don't know why I shielded there. Such a dumb move by me. Yeah, very dumb move. And I don't know why I went Psyshock. I really should have went Heavy Slam. Maybe I went double Heavy Slam and I didn't shield those two and just saved it for... Yeah, just dumb move on my part. Bulldoze, and unfortunately doesn't KO. And if I didn't miss these bubbles like crazy, I still got an excellent, but that probably would... Oh man, and not clicking the charge move because he's gonna Bulldoze me here. And it's GG. He still had a Muck in the back, so it would have been pretty tough for me to win. Even if I hit that bubble, I think I still would have been a little bit short. Maybe if I didn't miss, if I would have had double Heavy Slammed, then it probably would have been better for me. So I'm just gonna send this out to Lex Master. So let's see what he comes with. I think he's gonna accept shortly. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Yep. He's accepted. All right, so we're going to lead with Xatu against Bronzon. Again, I'm predicting that most people are going to have Psyshock Bulldoze. And yep, and he hits it with the Psyshock as predicted. And I have an Ominous Wind ready. And I need to hit this Ominous Wind before he hits the Psyshock, which I end up doing. And he's going to farm me down, which I'm fine with. Because Raticate is just going to tank these charge moves. Bulldoze doesn't do a ton of damage. And I'm going to farm up. I do Hyper Fang. A shield. I'm not sure why. I also should have switched to Gardevoir probably at this point. I don't need shield, and really I shouldn't have shielded the last one. I wouldn't need to shield one of these if I wanted my Gardevoir matched up. I still have one shield left, so also I probably could have farmed that down. So this is fine. So those confusions are resisted, so it's a pretty tough situation whenever you have a Gardevoir with one shield left. It can beat almost the entire meta. Another Gardevoir maybe would have been able to beat it because I already had like some reduced health. And then just Charm down Mirror would have been a tough matchup. Alright, I think this is the final battle that we do. And I know Lexmaster is super tricky. So I'm going to lead with Gardevoir, see what checks he has for it. And I don't know, So this is obviously a really positive matchup for me. And we're just going to Charm down. He switches into Bronzon. I'm going to switch into, we're basically doing not very much damage to each other. Psyshock again, it's like almost nothing. I think I load up to about 2. Gonna hit the crunch just because, like, if I would just stayed, it would have. And again, if he hits with Bulldoze, not a big deal. Psyshock, not a big deal. Take out one of his Pokemon. I have a ton of energy loaded, so I do try to bait out this. Shield, and I do get the bait, and I'm like, oh, I can survive the first power-up punch, surely. And yeah, I can, but not by very much. And then I'm gonna go, I do have to shield because if this is an Ice Punch, it would probably KO me. He easily identifies that I need to shield, and at this point in time, this is a pretty tough matchup for anybody. And I could probably just shield. He probably has double Thunder Punch, so he doesn't have Thunder Punch. He has Ice Punch. And I do it. And you shield just in case it's Shadow Ball. And plus, like, doesn't really matter. Once he showed the Shadow Ball, it's very unlikely he would get to another one. Before I would KO with Confusion or Psyshock or Heavy Slam. So, hopefully, for whoever is doing Nightmare Cup battles or Nightmare Cup tournament, hopefully that was helpful. If it was, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below and let me know what team you would run for your Nightmare Cup. And I will see everyone in the next video.